My name's Kay Patterson. I'm a professional organizer and host of the YouTube channel, The Organized Soprano, where I inspire people to love their homes and organize their lives. Today, we're going to talk about decluttering your home, why it's important, and how you should do it, and how not to get super intimidated and overwhelmed. Let's get started. First, before I talk about how to declutter, I want to talk about what clutter actually is. Now, I hate to tell you this, but clutter is actually in the eye of the beholder. So what is clutter to one person might not be clutter to the next person. So the definition that I usually have for clutter is if you have a dysfunctional relationship between you and your stuff. Let's say you open a drawer in your house and it's got a whole bunch of cables in it that you don't know what they go to or if they even work. These things are cluttering up your home because you don't use them, you don't know what they are, you don't love them, so you might need to get rid of them. If you love it, you use it, and you absolutely need it. These are things that belong in your home, and everything else can probably just, go out the door. Often people's homes are cluttered because they don't have enough space for all the things they need. More often than not, it's people bringing things into the house more than they can use or more than they need. So let's figure out how to get some of that stuff out so that you can actually love your home and use everything that's in it. The first thing you want to do is start with a small area. I know that it's really tempting to say, I'm going to organize my entire house and I'm going to declutter everything, but that can be a really daunting task. Your whole house or your whole apartment is a rather large, it can be a really, really big job. So you want to start with something small. And I always use 4 categories when I am decluttering. I always make a little piles, or you can start with little containers and label them if you'd like. They are keep, toss, that means toss in the trash or recycling if they can no longer be used, donate, and other rooms. Well, donate or sell are the same sort of container, but other rooms is another one. If you happen to come across something when you're organizing that doesn't belong in this space, say you're in your junk drawer or utility drawer, as I like to refer to it, and you find, say, a bottle of lotion that you're like, why is that in there? It might belong in the bathroom. You're going to use that, put that in the other rooms category. And before you even start getting in there and decluttering, just accept that you will have to let things go. I know this is really difficult to accept, especially for some items that may have some sentimental value or were given to you by someone. I often find that the hardest things for people to let go of that are gifts that people gave them that they actually didn't want or don't use, but they feel bad because, my mom gave this to me or my sister gave this to me. Unfortunately, if you're not using it, maybe it's collecting dust on a shelf somewhere, maybe it's at the bottom of your closet somewhere, getting trampled on every time you put your shoes there. So I would recommend that if you're just really being honest with yourself, whether or not you're using, needing, or loving an item, and giving it new life if you're really not. One of the best motivators for setting a decluttering time is doing it on a solstice, or what is the other one? Equinox basis. I usually advise clients to do this 4 times a year. The first day of winter, the first day of spring, the first day of summer, and the first day of fall. That way they have a date on the calendar that they know that they have to declutter their house, and it should be done pretty regularly because not only is your space changing, but your life is changing, and maybe your needs have changed. So maybe something you loved and needed in the springtime, in the wintertime, maybe it doesn't bring you joy anymore, or you don't like doing the thing anymore. Maybe you did a hobby and maybe you're done with that. So maybe it's time to let go of that in that season. So that's why I recommend doing these little decluttering sessions 4 times a year. And also spreading it out prevents you from getting too overwhelmed by doing it all at once. I never recommend that. That is really scary. Don't do that to yourself. But breaking it over a period of 4 times a year and doing it in little spurts is the way to really get it done. Really being honest with yourself when you're going through your items is going to be the real key to actually getting things decluttered. I always recommend, if you're doing a space like a closet or drawer, just to go ahead and take everything out of that space to begin with and lay it out somewhere where you can actually see everything, and just evaluate item by item. Try not to hold it or look at it too long and make a quick decision. The longer you do this process, the easier it will get. If you need to take a break, like 15 minutes in, that's perfectly fine, but make sure you make a date with yourself to come back and finish your decluttering job, and make sure you have your little containers or piles set up. Remember, they were keep, toss, sell or donate, or other rooms, and you can separate that stuff really quickly, and that way it will help you get that motivation, because if it's a small project, like say just a drawer, you can build up that momentum to do the bigger space like your closet. Once you've decided what you're going to keep and what you're going to give away, what you're going to toss and all that, you need to establish a home for the things you're going to keep and make sure that it's an easy system for you to maintain. If you set up an organizing system that is difficult for you to maintain, say taking the lid off something when you don't think in your heart of hearts that you're actually going to do that, is going to set you up for failure. Everything in your home should have a place to go when you're done with it. So a lot of the criteria I have for is your home organized are, can I find it? Do I use it? And am I able to put it away really quickly when I'm done using it? So keep those criteria in mind when you are decluttering and organizing your home. And one last piece of organizer tough love: just because you have space for items does not necessarily mean you are getting use out of them and you have to keep them. If you find yourself putting things in bins, never to touch them again, or if you are piling bins on top of one another, you don't know what's inside them, then it might be time to let these items go. So just because you have space for it doesn't mean you have to keep it. You don't have to declutter all day. You can set a little timer for 15 minutes and do a little bit of decluttering at a time, and then that'll either make you feel good and you can stop, or it will just give you some more momentum to keep going. So I encourage you to give yourself a break when you're doing this, because decluttering can be really difficult on you and your family, because a lot of us are attached to our stuff, but it can be really freeing to get rid of that stuff and only have the stuff in your house that you love, use, and need. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video inspired you today to declutter something in your home. You know, just one thing, get it out the door. It'll make you feel better. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.